This November, no matter the outcome, we will elect our 47th chief executive. But first, we're going to take a look back at how the presidents became president. This is your countdown to 47. Let's look now at Rudd, otherwise known as his fraudulency, Rutherford B. Hayes. Before becoming the 19th president, Hayes was a Harvard-educated lawyer practicing in Ohio. He took up cases defending runaway slaves and later fought against the spread of slavery into Western territories. His stances would lead him to join the burgeoning Republican Party. The Confederate attack on Fort Sumter in 1861 spurred Hayes to leave his life of comfort and enlist in the Union Army during the Civil War. In 1862, Hayes led troops on a charge in the Battle of South Mountain, where he suffered a musket wound. 2 years later, Hayes was wounded again at the Battle of Cedar Creek. In 1865, Republicans in his home city of Cincinnati entered him in a race for the U.S. House of Representatives. He accepted, but refused to campaign, saying he would not abandon his duty as an Army officer. Hayes won that election. In 1867, Hayes left Congress to run for the Ohio governor's office. He won that election too, and served until 1876. That same year, Hayes won the Republican nomination for president and went on to face Samuel J. Tilden of New York in the general election. The election of America's centennial year would be like no other. Despite hard campaigning from Republicans, Hayes fully expected Tilden to win. He reportedly went to bed on election night believing he had lost, but Republican leadership did not give up so easily. While Tilden won the popular vote, Republicans contested the electoral count in 4 states: South Carolina, Louisiana, Florida, and Oregon. If all the contested states went to Hayes, it would certify the election in his favor. If even one went to Tilden, he'd win. Amid the uncertainty, Congress established an electoral commission in January of 1877 to determine the outcome. The commission, made up of 8 Republicans and 7 Democrats, decided the election along party lines. This certified Hayes as the victor, awarding him all the electoral votes necessary to win. The final count: 184 for Tilden, 185 for Hayes, the closest margin of victory in U.S. presidential history. Democrats were outraged. To appease them and prevent conflict, concessions were made. Most notably, federal troops were withdrawn from the states that made up the former Confederacy, bringing about the eventual end of the Reconstruction era. This eased the immediate tensions and became known as the Compromise of 1877. Rutherford B. Hayes was set to become the 19th President of the United States. Some still embittered Democrats would begin to call the new chief executive his fraudulency. President Hayes sought to heal the divisions of the post-Civil War America. His policies included his pursuit of civil service reform and his push to get America onto the gold standard. In 1879, he signed a bill extending pensions for veterans. Hayes would also seek to protect the rights of African Americans in the South, but the end of Reconstruction led to failure on that front and ultimately a near century of Jim Crow. Hayes' actions as president were not able to overcome this as his lasting legacy. Rutherford B. Hayes served as President of the United States from 1877 to 1881. I'm Eric George for Valley News Live, and this has been your countdown to 47.